out again. It's a redskin.
Hi everyone, my name is Aniket Sharma. I am the anchor and host person of today's interview. I am here with a very special guest tonight who is fearlessly known for conveying social political messages through his rap songs. So here we are talking about none other than Santhanam Srinivasan Iyer, popularly known by his stage name EPR. So, now enough with the introductions, and without wasting any time, let's hit the venue.
So tell us, EPR, how are you and how did you spend your quarantine days?
Actually, I'm good. Like all the time, all this while, like in 2 months, 3 months, I was preparing to launch my album called Protest Poetry jo abhi it's out on all stores. So I've been working on new music and I'm doing great, of course.
So first of all, the question with which we would like to begin with is like, how exactly did the shift from Santhanam to EPR happen?
Actually, the shift from Santhanam to EPR never happened because Santhanam is my dad's name. And my name is Srinivasan. So in South Indian thingy, my father's name comes first. So you can say from Srinivasan to EPR, and that's how it happened. It's a journey of 15 years. So basically, when I started off rapping, when I had this one dream of becoming, someone in music circuit and stuff like that. So I worked day and nights off, and like slowly one step at a time. And yes, right now here I am.
So when did you figure out that you wanted to be a rapper, MC and poet?
Firstly, when I started off writing poetry when I was in school. So after that, when I got introduced to hip-hop music through my friends and through channels like MTV and VH1, and I slowly picked up the art of rapping, and then it was 2008 when I started off professionally. So tab se abhi tak karte aa raha hu.
So what are the roots of underground authority and how did you came up with an idea of creating a rock band?
Because tab kya tha in 2008, 7, 8, 9, at that point of time, Calcutta was booming with, rock bands. यहाँ पे rock band का culture जो है is already booming and a lot of bands were happening, but there was no hip hop circuit. And अभी जब तब गली बॉय भी नहीं था, तब people did not know what rapping was, and so there were very less avenues for a rapper to come and perform. But there were avenues for bands कि pub shows या फिर college competitions या फिर rock festivals में जो भी होते हैं तब like people used to listen to bands. So I thought that rather than approaching or rather than finding a venue for just hip hop music, I should actually go into forming my own rock band and to propagate hip hop music through a rock band. So I formed my own band.
You started your journey initially by performing in many local popular cafes and music events in Kolkata.
Yeah.
And from there on, you took yourself to a bigger stage like
Yeah.
IGT Season 2 and MTVHUSTLE.
Yeah.
So like how your experience was and what massive changes you have noticed?
Like जैसे कि मैं बता रहा था कि you have to take, when you are coming from a city called Calcutta, which is like very rich in cultural influences and music and everything, so you have to take one step at a time. So how did I take my step? I formed my own band, started writing my own songs, and उसके बाद to get recognized and to get fans or an audience, so basically I competed in national rock band competitions. So after competing, I lost a few and then I started winning. So after that, I decided that maybe I should take my songs out on media platforms. So we did that, and then we got selected at India's Got Talent Season 2, which was at that point of time the biggest reality show ever. And after that, we got widespread amount of fame and a lot of people recognized our music and a lot of people knew what we were doing. It took off our career and we started professionally performing everywhere. And the band still exists now. It's 10 years now with the band, and we have performed about like 600 to 700 shows everywhere, be it NITs, IITs, BITs, jo bhi hai. And we dropped 2 albums with the band. And then I slowly started, picking up my hip hop part, which was ignored from a long time. So what happened was I collaborated with GJ Storm. He's my producer. He was right there. So what we did was I formed another hip hop trio. It was called Agarwal. We dropped an album and it got again widespread popularity. And uske baad MTVHUSTLE happened. And then again I got like recognition for what I do and what I write about social issues I speak about. And uske baad se again I dropped this album called Protest Poetry, and things are slowly coming my way.
So, like, in which cafe did you perform your first live session?
Cafe. It was basically not a cafe but a pub called Basement. Basement. It's I don't think it exists right now. It's near Samilton, Hotel Samilton. Yeah, it's near Jain Dhaba. That side.
So, from where did you got to know about the Honville International Rock Festival, and how did you got into it?
What happened was in 2013, when we were actually preparing for our first album called You Authority, and we had saved up about 10 to 15 lakh rupees of money from our shows and performances, everything. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to produce an album which is worth remembering. So, and we were like very new when it comes to booking a studio or to make a music video. And at that point in time, YouTube pe itna chal nahi raha. So what we did was like we got hold of so much amount of money, and then we actually went into a studio, and we did not know how the studio rent works and everything. So we used to go there, we used to chill and just lie around, do nothing. And every hour studio ka 1,000 se 2,000 rupiya matlab rent mein. So we were locked up in the studio for like about 1.5 months, and we exhausted like all our money into producing the album. Uske baad we sent the mixing mastering of the album in New Zealand. We got it actually done from New Zealand from a guy called Zoran Mendoza. And then we actually shot a music video which went way past our expenses. Like when the guys actually who wanted to make our music video, they said that okay, it's going to be done under 1 lakh. Lekin baad mein jab we tallied our expenses, it was like 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs. And we were struggling really bad at that point of time. But then again, we knew that when the shows start coming in, again we will have a lot of money. But at the same time, kya hua ki we were touring, and then I got caught up with a disease called cholesteatoma. Cholesteatoma is a disease where आपकी जो ear में 3 bones होते हैं. So there was a bacterial infection, and it was actually eating the bones inside my ear, and I was decommissioned at that point of time from performing because I had to go through a surgery. So I did not know whether I will be back again or not. So all this amounting to a lot of pressure, and the band actually went bankrupt. And the thing is that, like, wherever we might come from, music is our bread and butter. So you can actually see that from 15 years I've been earning just through music. Alright. So if music goes away, everything goes away. So at that point of time, my band was decommissioned for like 3 months. Now what happened was like I slowly started regaining my hearing and everything. And tab kya hua ki I was just scrolling my Facebook account, and I saw this flyer that India's best rock band competition, Hornbill International Rock Competition, which is happens in Kohima, Nagaland, and the winners get about like 10 lakh rupees tax-free money because the competition is sponsored and endorsed by the government of Nagaland, and which is why it's tax-free money. So I thought, why don't we give it a try? So we gave it a try, and a lot of feuds happened in between the band, and a lot of people said that we are professionals now, why compete in बच्चों का competition में क्यों जाना है and stuff, because at the same time we had performed already 300 to 400 shows, and we were already there. Har jagah we used to perform as a guest performer, not a competing band anymore. So we went over there, and the record still holds. We won the best band, which is like 10 lakh rupees, the best vocalist I won it, the best bassist, the best drummer, and the best runners of guitars. So that's the record we hold even now. I mean, abhi Hornbill band ho chuka hai, but if you go through the records, like we had won in a competition about like 10 lakh rupees, we won about like more than 11 lakh rupees.
So how did you meet that guy from New Zealand who used to mix and master your songs?
We actually did not meet. So we were actually looking forward for people. First, we tried mixing and mastering our songs in Calcutta. It didn't work out, and we also lost a lot of money in that process. Uske baad we decided that okay, we want our album to sound internationally relevant, like from what other bands are doing abroad. We wanted that sound as well. So we looked around for a lot of people. We went through Bombay, and we actually met with a lot of people. And then somewhere down the line, one of our friends said that, we mixed our album through around Windows. So there was another band called Cactus. So they referred us that, okay, this guy is really good, and you should try it out. So then that guy also said that this guy is very expensive. So we liked his work, and then we got in touch through Skype and everything, and then we got our things done.
Like, lyrics are the roots of any song.
Yes.
So, quoting that, we would like to know how and basically what's the idea behind making and choosing such complicated lyrics in your songs.
Actually, not complicated lyrics. It's basically it should reflect where you come from and how you are as a person. Because I like to read a lot of books, so you will obviously find a lot of bookish references and a lot of interesting things. Like for example, Divine. Right now, the first thing that comes to your mind, okay, he's from the gully, so his language would be of that, of that thing like Nazi and stuff like that. He comes from a very humble beginning, so उसके आवाज में भी और उसका टोन में भी और उसके लैंग्वेज में भी वही आपको दिखेगा. So but I come from a family which has always encouraged me to read a lot. So I have those experiences and those expressions locked in my songs. And also I went to a college which was like extremely political in nature. I mean, like half the colleges in Calcutta, the first thing you go inside the college and the first thing you get to know is about different parties and student unions and everything, rather than studies and everything. So all of that, and Calcutta generally is very political. A lot of people have political opinions because we have the largest amount of tea shops everywhere and everybody's got an opinion. So so that's how it is. I mean, like, so all that heritage, all that knowledge and all that expressions come through my songs, and that is how it goes.
So when and how did you come up on a decision of taking part on IGT season 2?
Actually, we did not want to be a part of IGT because at that point of time we were like rebel. We used to be like people who used to think that, okay, we were in our 21. We were like in our 21s, and we were like fresh young blood out of college and everything, into politics and everything, into reading books and singing songs about anarchy, having tattoos all over our body, piercings and everything. At that point of time, we used to be really crazy, and for us, reality shows were like shit. We thought India's Got Talent is just a show jahan pe, tube light eaters will come in and magicians will come in, and we used to think that ye kaisa show hai, like how would a rock band fit into it? But then again, क्या हुआ था कि we were actually performing at the same place called Basement, and at that point of time we were having about like 12 to 13 our original songs which were English, and we used to do rap rock, and each song we were falling short of it. So what we decided was like, okay, why don't we take a old Hindi song and why don't we remake it into our own rap way and whatever, for fun basically. So we used to do that. And suddenly at that point of time, the people from India's Got Talent, the producers and everyone, they were actually hanging out at that pub, the same pub. They saw us performing and they said that this is really crazy. I mean, like, we have never heard something like this. So why don't you come and try it out on India's Got Talent? And at the same time, our manager was like, no, why would we do so? You have to actually give, our cap fare or this fare and that fare. And then we finally agreed on we will not stand in line, because the first impression of a reality show is आपको खड़ा रहना पड़ता है लाइन में, 2 किलोमीटर 3 किलोमीटर का लाइन है. So we said that we are not going to stay. So if you want us, give us like early access to it where we will perform and we'll go away. So we went there and we cracked, and all the 3 judges, they said, yes, you are going to Bombay and now you are progressing. So I said, okay, fine. At the same time, what happened was there was this competition, a rock band competition, a national level rock band competition, actually in Bombay, right? So at that point of time, we thought that, okay, this India's Got Talent mein select ho gaya, so they will probably give us tickets to like Bombay for free. So at that point of time, every avenue matters. So we got like free tickets. I thought that, okay, fine, we'll also compete here. So we actually went there in India's Got Talent in hope that we will go and compete in this rock band competition. We never thought that we were going to be big through India's Got Talent. लेकिन जैसे episode आता गया, we gave our best and we went into the finals and we finished at top 5. So yeah.
So during the auditions of IGT season 2, you received compliments from Nikhil Chinnappa.
Yeah.
And thereon he also tweeted while on Twitter applauding the band. So how was the reaction?
It was nice, man. I mean, like Nikhil Chinnappa at that point of time was a great friend. And if you do not know, even Ayushmann Khurrana used to be the host. So, and all of them were like really nice people. I mean, like we met Salman Khan as well. Even he was a very nice guy. And the point that he actually tried to call us, and we thought it was some fake Salman, and we did not pick up his call. But the next morning we wake up and we see bhai aa gaya, and everybody's going like crazy about it. And then we are like, who's this bhai, man? And then we go outside and we see like 7 cars. And then out of one car, you know, Salman Khan comes in and he said that aap mera phone nahi uthate ho. And he was so really nice, and we were like shivering with nervousness and everything. But yeah, so we made a lot of, you know, contacts, and some accidental and some through fate and some through God's grace and everything. But yeah, it was worth the while.
Tell us in brief about your journey from auditions to being in the 9th finalist of IGT season.
It was weird. I mean, like hustle mein, it was like very easy as in terms of staying in a hotel, right? Like आपको मालूम है कि आपका neighbor और एक rapper है. So you know what he is doing. क्या होगा rap? Like there is no difference. Like what he does, same feel hai, same everything hai. But in India's Got Talent, it was completely different because मेरे बाजू वाले room में there was a Sikh martial art group called Veer Khalsa, and where kids were like having like you know, swords and everything. And उसके बाजू वाले room में there is this Mizo martial art group. उसके बाजू वाले room में there are belly dancers. उसके बाजू वाले room में there are like some weird kind of thingy. So it's so weird. It's like a whole circus together. So we were like we knew that it's going to be really difficult for the audience and also for us. Like how are you gonna tally with a rock band ka performance or with a martial art ka performance or with a dance troupe to something else, right?
How like we will get that equally between
so ये सब तो था. So what we did was like we never thought about a competition because ये हम लोग के ऊपर है. मतलब we can actually say that okay fine we perform better than this band or this band perform better than us. वो हो सकता है band और band के बीच में, like martial art के बीच में और band के बीच में नहीं हो सकता. So it was very weird, but it was also very educating for us because we got to meet a lot of people and we got to see a lot of people, meet a very varied range of people. So we got to learn a lot from them and we made a lot of friends. So it was very good in terms of experience.
So what are your best memories and worst memories of IGT season 2?
The best memories were like IGT में क्या होता था कि in the same hotel we were there were 2 reality show contestants staying. एक है IGT का और entertainment के लिए कुछ भी करेगा का same hotel में we were all put up. So in breakfast में क्या होता था कि the IGT people used to give like vegetarian breakfast. There were no eggs in it. So every time the best memory was like we were so sick of just having bread and without eggs. So we actually used to cross from IGT का buffet से लेके वहाँ पे entertainment के लिए कुछ भी करेगा buffet में जाके we used to steal our eggs and we used to come back. That was like one of the best memories there.
And what about the worst?
Worst memory was Sajid Khan, man. Sajid Khan was like a prick. I can openly say now he's been accused of being a molester and stuff like that. Yes, but yeah, he was a prick at that point of time because he used to have a grudge against us. Why? Because we never thought his songs, uske movie ka gaane, we did not remake it. And so he was like really rude to us. And at that point of time, you know, even Salman Khan came in our defense and saying that these guys are good. I mean, like you can't just point a finger at something like that. So yeah.
So talking about MTV Hustle, during your audition, there you got too much of negative vibes from one of the jury members, Lazy Daba.
Yeah.
So which we happen to believe was because of the diss track which you released on Divine and Amy.
Absolutely, yes.
So even after all this, what was your state of mind there while performing your audition and while?
So the true story behind it is like I have been a part of the hip hop circuit since 15 years. जब मैंने रैप करना शुरू किया था तो we used to exist all the rappers that you presently know who are doing big are from a community which is known as, in Orkut, known as Insignia Rap Combats. I mean, like Brother V is from that same community, Raftar was from the same community, I am from that, Smoky. A lot of people were there and we used to battle it out. Text में battle करते थे क्योंकि तब audio rap battles नहीं होता था, disses नहीं थे, तो we used to text में battle करते थे. तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ ना, since I went into the rock circuit of the country, I mean like rock, मेरा एक rock band था, तो I used to perform in the rock, and a lot of people from the music industry only know me through my rock band. तब hip hop started booming in India, and a lot of times ये होता है कि you know, a lot of people start, अगर कुछ देखने को मिलता है, कोई आर्टिस्ट अगर बॉम्बे से आता है, तो everybody thinks that okay, this is hip hop only exists in Bombay, यही rap है and stuff like that. So I wanted to prove it wrong. I wanted to say that you know Calcutta also has this hip hop scene which is like untouched, कोई देखा नहीं अभी तक. So what I did was like this same way of how to challenge when you want your stuff to get noticed, you have to challenge the person who's doing the best in the game. And at that point of time, it was Divine. So I challenged him for a competition, maybe a track, maybe you can call it one of the first diss tracks ever. So it was before Wave, Raftar beef and a lot of beef that is happening around. So तब मैंने challenge किया था and Divine did not respond. But respond नहीं किया, लेकिन फिर भी a lot of things happened around it. I got a lot of people talking about me, like who is this guy, and suddenly charging up on Divine. A lot of people were upset as well because a lot of members of the gully gang were like, okay, who is this guy? How did he suddenly come up and क्यों diss कर रहा है? And at the same time, you know, we had this interview with Anupama Chopra and Divine, where Divine was asked this question that this track was viral at that point of time, and he was asked कि आपको कैसा लगा ये diss track? And he started saying that this track was good, लेकिन मेरे को पता नहीं क्यों किया इसने. So वो उसका background देख के जब when I actually got a call from the producers that they want me to be a host of MTV Hustle. So I said that if my hosting thing is not good, and if there is a competition, I would be happily obliged to be a part of it. So then I signed up for it, and then I went and competed. And उस समय the audition episode में there was this one guest judge called Lazy, of course, and he is also happens to be very close to Divine. So he got really upset about it. But the funny part is, I dissed a lot of people, and if you actually go and check the track out, it had Nuclear's name on it as well. And ironically, Nuclear loved this track so much that he gave me a call right after this track. You know, he gave me a call and he said that he loves this track so much that he wants to work with me. So yeah, a few people take it sportingly, a few people do not take it sportingly. So Nazy went against me, and at that point of time, I respected his position because he was at the judge and I was a contestant. I didn't say anything, but I let my art, speak for myself. And you know what happened after that. And then again, in the finals, I believe that he actually expressed his views that okay, he was pretty wrong about me being not, that up to the mark. And then he was like, yes, he's up to the mark, and probably someday in the future we'll collab. So yes.
So from your MTV Hustle audition video, we got to know that you suffered with some serious ear disease few years back.
Yeah.
Which could have affected your career. Right?
Yeah.
So referring to that, would you like to tell us in brief how and where exactly did you got that disease?
I don't know how I got it, because I used to love water. So basically, every time I used to go to a water theme park and go for a swim and go to beaches and stuff like that. And even spend like countless amount of hours in showers and everything. But the thing was that I don't know how I got it, but I know that it's generally, this disease is also called the swimmer's ear. So I think it has something to do with water. So that's how when I got diagnosed with this disease, I got to, my doctor said that, if whenever you're taking a bath or going to a swim, don't make sure your ears are covered and everything. So that disease was like, it was eating away my ear bones, and it was actually slowly depreciating my hearing ability. Uske baad in 1 year, yeah. So uske baad I went through a surgery, which is modified radical mastectomy. It's a 4.5 hour surgery. It's a complicated surgery, and I had my ears cut. If you see, there are like 10 stitches here. So I got it cut, and then there was a new bone which was actually placed into my ear. And after that, it was like 3 months of bed rest and complete recovery. And uske baad, yeah, everything's fine.
During the whole show, you had to stay in a hotel for 3 months.
Yeah.
We got to know.
Quarantine.
So So would you like to share some of your best memories and worst memories?
Worst memories was like before this whole corona pandemic thing happened and before we were locked down for 3 months. I was actually locked down in a hotel called Savoy Suites, which was in this place called Sakinaka in Bombay. So basically we were 15 rappers. We were placed in one hotel. Everyone was given a room partner, and firstly you had to stay with an unknown guy that you don't even know, and for 3 months eating the same kind of food in buffet and living far away from your family and everything. But I was used to this because IGT maybe I did the same thing. We stayed up in Bombay for like 3 months, but at that point of time I was with my band, so it was okay. But this time I was alone. The sad part was I was alone. I was missing my family and my friends and everything. But the best part was getting to know other rappers and being in a competitive environment. कि आपको prove करना पड़ेगा. Every week you have to write a new song. Every week you have to come up with a new idea. And that new song was not only new to you, but also was to be presented in front of millions of people who are watching live on TV, right? So that was the best part about it. The best part was the competition, and the worst part was like you were stuck in a hotel for like 3 months.
What major differences have you noticed between IGT season 2 and MTV Hustle?
Major differences, I told you, like IGT was a circus, okay, or it was more civilized. We जब सिर्फ rappers ही थे. Secondly, जितना competition IGT में tough था, उससे 100%, a million times tougher creatively for a songwriter, for a person, for an artist, hustle, because 10 weeks, 10 new songs, 10 different topics, and every time you have to surprise your audience, surprise the judges and everything. And even the judges were like so qualified. You have Raftar, you have Nuclear, you have Raja Kumari, who have done so many beautiful songs, and so yeah, that was really tough at that same point of time, and also competing against other rappers from different parts of the country. So that was really tough, man.
In one of your live interview, you yourself stated that this is like your second quarantine experience, right?
Absolutely.
So during the first quarantine experience, you gave so many hit performances.
Yeah.
So after this second quarantine experience, what new could we expect from you?
I already dropped an album which has about like 17 songs. So that album is actually doing well, and it's been just 7 days, and it has already crossed about like 100,000 streams on Spotify, on just Spotify. So a lot of things. I released a new track with an artist called Karma, who's also a part of the Kalamkar family, which is like owned by Raftar. So I did a lot of collaborations here and there. I'm working on new music as well. After this album, I'm working on my second album, which is Reggae Hindustan. So yeah, so like for me as an artist, music is the way that I keep my sanity. Like आप घर में locked बैठे रहते हो तो you feel like really weird, like what do you want to do? So for me, I am blessed that I can do music and I have good music producers to work with, so that इसीलिए I keep my sanity right at the place, and I'm gonna give more music to my people. So for all the lovers who are watching this right now, you have to do just one thing. It's an amazing place. Just come out, visit, take your time to come to the Brew House. Like, share, subscribe on their Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the links possible. Alright, this is EPR signing out. Sorry for the actor who committed a suicide, but baby, he had his reasons to do so. I'ma go and prove myself on the microphone, always cause the fact alone right now at Brood House Cafe. So I'ma have my mochato and not cafe latte. So I'ma